No, we're in financial stress at the moment, really am. Can't even get my shopping out, it's not like me. And I really miss having friends that would make it a hell of a lot better. And I know I was bang on about that on here, but yeah, crap. Like my sister, who's a lot quieter than me, she's had friends for years, same with my brothers and sisters, yeah. Anyway, this video is about more pop stars and their birth charts. This time, I'm going to look at Beyonce, Pink, and there was somebody else which will come to me in a sec. And that other person was Riri. So Rihanna got a very similar chart to my sister. They're born in different years, but they have their Venus in Aries and their Mars in Sagittarius. Now Mars in Sagittarius is going to cause problems with the opposite sex, like there could be like misogyny against this person, and quite a lot of hate from the other sex, but with Rihanna it's jealousy. We can also see that Jupiter is in her first house, Venus is in her first house, and get confused with these charts sometimes, how they start, because I do it in the whole time. Yeah, so that's where her beauty comes from, because she's obviously an Aries rising with an Aries moon and the Aries Venus all conjuncting one another. They're very close, the moon and the Venus are a degree apart basically. And then she has a retrograde Mercury in the 11th house, so that could cause problems maybe like online and talking to people. Now I don't know if I'm wrong, but I don't think Rihanna has much of an online presence anyway, so it could be that maybe she's a bit not illiterate with it, but it's not good for her. So people who have Mercury retrogrades can struggle with their words, or they can be a bit quick with their words, or they can be quite short with people, in my experience anyway. So she's got her Mars in the 8th house, and that comes with that sexuality, her music. I hate to say it, but the violent act that happened. It's all in the top hemisphere. So, and she's got Neptune in Capricorn and Saturn in Capricorn. And then she's got, yep, they're conjuncting as well in Capricorn, and midheaven's in Capricorn. So I think that midheaven in Capricorn is very prominent in her chart of how, with her beauty industry and anyway, and how it's very steady, like her music, not her music so much, but her beauty industry is really taken off, and the way she is very dedicated to her work and craft. I know other people write her music, but it's Rihanna and we love her. You can see if the Aries looks, I can see it with the big large forehead, large cranium, the beautiful sultry eyes. This is, whose chart do you think this is? I just blocked the name, I hope you didn't notice. This is very similar to somebody this person really doesn't like. It's in like the positions of like the Western hemisphere. And this person is Beyonce, so she's got her Mars in her 10th house, which shows me dedication physically to her work. And if you've ever watched Beyonce rehearse, you know that she's dedicated and she's a Virgo, and it has to be done in the right way. But the alter ego being Sasha Fierce is that Leo energy that's coming out, where she says it comes into her, and that's like a conspiracy. And I do find it quite weird, but that's what singers do. Her Jupiter, her Venus, her Pluto, and her rising are all in Libra. Now, it says a reliability as a C here, so that's not great grading. I've often thought that Beyonce is a Leo rising with like fertility issues and also the way she looks and that, but that's just me. And then it would mean that she'd have Mars in her first house. But that's just my opinion on that. I've always thought that, and another astrologer pointed it out. Definitely got the moon in Scorpio there, though, so that's where Lemonade comes from. That's where all her tracks come, like, it must be the cash because it ain't your face. It must be the cash because it ain't your face. That is so Scorpio moon coated, and I love it. And then she's also got her sun in the 11th house. Beyonce comes across a very Libra energy, though, I will say that, like trying to be a bit too polite, but also the very strong Virgo energy. So her chart ruler, if it's Libra, is her Venus in Libra. If her chart ruler was here, it would be her Sun in Virgo. So there you go. See what you think. See how you feel about that. I'll be interested to see what other people think. Then we've got Miss Aguilera, who's got a fire trine. Or is it? No. Hold on. She's got a fire trine. Hold on. No. Sorry, that was somebody else. I'll be doing that. So her moon's in Taurus, Sun's in Sagittarius, Venus in Sagittarius, Mercury in Sagittarius, Neptune in Sagittarius. So a big stellium there. And the stellium in Libra of people born around that time, like people of my generation who've got the Neptune, Uranian, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus in Saturn. So you're going to have that of generational planets, but obviously they're going to sit in different houses. And now this sits in her moon sits in her 3rd house, which shows that she's a good communicator emotionally. And that's why we get her good work, like Hurt was such a good song, such a beautiful song, excuse pun intended. She shows us her darkest moments in lyrics. And also the transformation I want to go through here with like the fact that she rebranded herself, kept rebranding herself. The MC is in Sagittarius, so that makes sense. She's very in touch with her Sagittarius energy, where she can reinvent herself, and that's not hard for her. I'm not saying all Sagittarians do that, but she's got things there that will make that happen. And then Jupiter in the 8th house, that's the pain with the childhood things, and the dad in there with the Saturn. Her and her mum are quite close, so sometimes 4th house, this is what I believe with empty houses, is when houses are empty, I often believe that you have mastered that house in a previous life. Different people think different things, and I think that, personally. We have her rival here, Pink. She's got a big, hefty Virgo stellium there, you can see, and some stuff in Leo, like planets and luck of fortune. So her ruling, she is a Sagittarius rising, her Jupiter in Leo is going to come out. And obviously her midheavens in Libra, which is, for me, like Eminem's a great writer with his lyrics. And they can see both sides of a situation, like Family Portrait is the perfect example of that. And people who've got like Neptune in the 1st house are so beautiful to me. You're so beautiful to me. But that Sagittarius in the 1st house is going to give her loads of physical energy anyway. They can't sit still for very long, anyone with Sagittarius planets. Even Virgo, any sort of mutable sign, they don't like to be sat still doing nothing, like me and you. So here's another short reading of some 1980 babes and another of 1970.